kiddies! It's me, Professor Socky McSockington, and today I'm going to tell you about the Cuban Missile Crisis! Yay! After World War II, the new global superpowers of the United States and the Soviet Union were at odds, ready at a second's notice to annihilate each other. But due to the fear of mutually assured destruction by way of nuclear warfare, they didn't fight each other with direct military action. Instead, they fought each other with intelligence gathering and feasting upon smaller nations around the world to fight small wars on their behalf. Such countries that were feasted upon by the great powers included Guatemala, Nicaragua, Syria, both Koreas, and of course, Cuba. Cuba, in 1959, underwent a communist revolution, deposing US-friendly dictator Batista with Soviet-friendly Castro. Oh boy, was the US less than happy. Former US President John F. Kennedy tried to overthrow him in April of 1961, with some 1,500 poorly trained and equipped Cuban exiles. But that didn't go too well for old Johnny, and the failed invasion was called the Bay of Pigs invasion. By April of 1962, about a year after the Bay of Pigs invasion, the US had installed multiple ballistic missiles in Turkey. No, not that Turkey. I'm talking about the country Turkey. Ha 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 ha! But seriously, this was bad. This would have been able to strike the Soviets with incredible ease. In retaliation, the Soviet leader Khrushchev planned to install missiles of their own in Cuba, which was only 90 miles from the US. In October of 1962, US President Kennedy ordered a naval blockade of Cuba, cutting it off from Soviet missiles and other military supplies. Neither Khrushchev or Kennedy seemed willing to back down, so the world held their breath, as nuclear war seemed all too certain to the public. Gee golly whiz! In secret, however, the Soviet and US leaders were negotiating, and after a 13-day standoff, several promises were made. First, the US were to remove their missiles from Turkey and vowed never to invade Cuba unless directly provoked. Second, the Soviets had to withdraw all their nuclear warheads from Cuba. On top of that, a special phone line, nicknamed the Nuclear Hotline, was made between the US and the Soviet leaders so they could directly communicate. Thanks for watching, kiddies, and I hope you learned a lot and that your curiosity of history has increased. Bye!